So it happened. You sat in a meeting, you laid out a brilliant strategy that you spent all weekend working on, and the boss said nothing. Then, 2 days later, that same boss walks into the VP's office and presents your idea as if it's theirs. They get the applause, they get the praise, and you get absolutely nothing. I know that feeling. It burns. It feels like you just got robbed in broad daylight. Your instinct is to flip a table. Your instinct is to send a nasty email. Your instinct is to expose them as a fraud. Do not do that. If you react emotionally, you lose. If you react strategically, you can turn their theft into your promotion. I spent nearly 2 decades in corporate America, and I learned a very hard lesson. Credit is vanity. Cash is sanity. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to handle a boss who steals your work. First, we're going to do an emotional audit. I need to explain why getting mad is actually a sign of weakness. Second, we're going to break down the paper trail protocol. This is how you timestamp your brilliance so they never erase you. Third, we're going to talk about the setup. How to trick a bad boss into promoting you by letting them think they are using you. Let's start with the most dangerous word in the corporate dictionary, fair. You think it's unfair that they stole your idea, and you're right. It is unfair, but corporate America is not a courtroom, and it is definitely not a playground. It is a marketplace. There's an old saying from the 48 Laws of Power, never outshine the master. Now, I don't treat this book like it's the Bible, but there is some truth in this. When a boss steals your idea, it usually means 2 things. The idea was actually good, which is validation, or 2, they are insecure and need your battery pack to power their career. When you get angry, when you pout in a meeting, when you gossip to your coworkers, you are signaling immaturity. The executive looking down from the C-suite don't see a victim, they see a problem. They see someone who cares more about the credit than the company mission. You have to detach. You have to be a stoic. I want you to look at your ideas not as your babies, but as your inventory. You are a factory. You produce high-level strategy. If the boss takes one of your inventory and puts their name on it, it's okay. You have a warehouse full of ideas. They have that one. Scarcity mindset gets mad. Abundance mindset gets leverage. The moment you get emotional, you hand them the remote control of your career. Take the batteries out. So do we just let them walk all over us? No. We don't get mad. We get documentation. I call this the paper trail protocol. The mistake most of you make is that you drop $1 million idea in a casual hallway setting. Hey boss, we should be trying to do X. There is no record of that. It vanishes in thin air. If you want to own your intellectual property, you need to create a timestamp before the theft happens. Step 1, the per our conversation email. Immediately after verbally sharing your ideas, you go back to your desk and you send an email. Hey boss, great catching up with you. Just to recap, I'm going to start researching that idea that we discussed. I think it could add $50,000 in revenue. I'll send over the brief on Friday. Boom! You just timestamped the origin. Step 2, the Trojan horse CC. When you send the final plan, you don't just send it over to your boss. You find a legitimate business reason to CC someone else. A project manager, a lateral colleague, or even their boss if it's appropriate. Be careful with this one though. It's hard to steal a car when there are people watching in the parking lot. Step 3, the implementation trap. Let's say they steal it anyway. They present it in a meeting, everyone claps. Here is your move. You don't say, that was mine. You raise your hand and you say, I love that we're moving forward with this. Since I have all the background data and the implementation plan, I'd love to lead the execution on this project. You just cornered them. They have the headline, you have the details. If they say no, they have to do the work, which they can't do because they don't understand the idea anyway. If they say yes, you are now the project lead. And guess who gets the promotion? The person who executed the idea, not the person who announced it. Now, for my advanced players, sometimes I want my boss to steal my idea. I call this the Inception Technique. If I have a risky idea or a massive change I want to implement, I know that if I pitch it, it might get shot down because I'm just a manager. But if the director pitches it, it gets approved. So I will plant that seed. I will say, you know, boss, something you said last week about efficiency really got me thinking. I attribute it to them. It made me realize we could probably restructure the whole department. What do you think? I feed it to them. I let them think they baked the cake. Why? Because I don't care about the credit of the idea. I care about the budget that comes with the idea. If the project gets approved, I get resources. I get the team. I get the experience. I am using my boss as a mule to carry the product across the finish line. Stop needing your name to be the marquee. Start caring about the box office receipts. In the long run, competence cannot be hidden. If you are the source of all the good ideas, eventually the market will realize the boss is just a middleman. If you are too fragile to let someone else shine for 5 minutes, you will never have the discipline to run an empire. The leader doesn't always need applause. They need results. It's not fair, I know, but we don't operate on fairness. We operate on effectiveness. Use the paper trail, use the Inception Technique, and keep emotions off the payroll. My goal here is to take 1 million people from general admission to the executive suites. We are building a community of strategists, not victims. If you are ready to play the game at a higher level, hit the subscribe button. And if you want the full playbook, not just the video version, but the deep dive, I put together the Savage Arsenal. It's a bundle of 8 ebooks that breaks down everything you need to know, from negotiation to mindset to business structure. It's the starter kit I wish I had nearly 20 years ago. The link is right here in the description. Comment the word Arsenal below if you're grabbing a copy today.